7 and 8, you've already held the public hearings on these. 7 is ordinance rezoning property at 3221 Duffy Street from an R60D district to an R99S district.
Okay, Ms. Riley.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. We've already met with the community on 7 and 8, and the community is against, and they have talked with both of those young people about these properties, and the community says.
Okay, I do have one question, and I asked this at our last meeting.
Yes.
Ms. Bellinger, on the, I think your attorney is here to speak to us about the no motion being taken by the planning commission. If you come kind of give us an explanation on what was that.
This is Carol Ann Kingston. She's an associate attorney in my office.
Okay, hey Caroline.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so your question was, why didn't the Planning Commission take action?
Yes, ma'am.
When the application was presented, they had asked legal whether spot zoning was permissible. I explained to them that in Alabama, it is not.
Okay.
When zoning is changed, you have to do it on a rational basis for the public welfare or public good, not an individual person.
Okay. All right.
And then they decided not to take any action.
Not taking action.
Yeah.
Send it to the council.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. So did you tell the planning that they have to do explanations on anything that they approve or deny?
I have explained that to them in the past. When they do make a denial, they have to put on record why they are denying it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? All right. Next item.
Item A is ordinance rezoning 3521 Hainville Road from an R60D to a B2 district.
Ms. Riley.
I've already talked with the community on that as well, and that's also a negative for us, please.
Okay.
Item 9 is the ordinance amending fiscal 2025 operating debt service budget and adopting fiscal year 2026 operating and debt service budget.
Okay. Any questions on the budget? I have some proposed amendments before me. We'll take them one by one during the regular council meeting. Anyone have any questions, comments on the budget?
And I need to point out to you, those amendments that have been put before you does not leave the budget balanced. So y'all are gonna have to look at those
Okay.
carefully.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Mr. Calhoun, I would like to separate the question, the amending the 25 and the passing of the 26, two different questions.
Okay. We'll take that up at the council meeting. We'll take a vote of the council on separating the question before we take a vote.
President Calhoun, also Betty Beeville and her team are putting together
Yeah,
a
she told me she
spreadsheet.
should have it done
Yeah.
prior to the council.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that the council was aware. More importantly, the mayor would like for this to go as one question, but that is at the discretion of the council.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Reed. Any
Item-
other question on the budget? All right.
Item number 10, application for a conference center doing business as Hidden Gem, 3758 Norman Bridge Road. I sent an email to the individual, Mr. Zemansky, but I got no response.
And I believe, I saw Bob the other day, I believe for this item, we have reason to believe that they've been occupying their business, conducting business with alcohol present. So as of this time, there doesn't seem like this license is moving forward. In fact, they're going to be in violation for illegally operating a business without a license.
Item number 11, application for a lounge retail liquor class 2 license doing business as Payless Tobacco and Beverage, 720 Eastern Boulevard.
Mr. Brown.
We are, the neighborhood, I think some will speak. As I went out and took some pictures, it's right across the ditch from houses. We'll see what the neighborhood wants, but they're gonna come, and I know we got some that's coming to talk against it. We'll see if we got some that are coming for it, but I am leaning no, but we'll see where it goes in the council meeting.
All right. Thank you. Next item.
Item 12, ordinance requiring council approval of contracts 50,000 and above.
All right, Mr. Samaster.
Nothing to add.
All right, next item.
13, application for lounge retail liquor class 2 license, doing business as Smoke Haven, 3759 Eastern Boulevard. Council, this is not in compliance due to being with 250 feet of a church.
So we can
it is-
withdraw that item. All right, we'll withdraw it. Thank you.
Item 14, ordinance granting a franchise to Loomis Fiber of Alabama to construct, operate, and maintain transmission cable in the city's right-of-way.
All right, any questions on item 13?
Where are they, is this a new cable company coming, or who? Fiber company? Do we know?
Ms. Reed, you got anyone want to talk on item 14 for the council? Come on down. You're the next contestant.
Yeah, this is actually T-Mobile Fiber Company, and they're doing residential fiber for the city of Montgomery and parts of the county.
So where are they starting? Do we know?
We don't have that yet, sir.
Okay. Can we negotiate and get a tube in the ground for the city fiber while they're doing it? So we can maybe use it for our future use while if they're out there boring, it's real easy to put another tube of fiber in the ground.
Yeah, this is a different kind of franchise agreement. This is where T-Mobile pays the city semi-annually of their gross profit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tony.
All right.
Item 15, resolution terminating contract with Squire Patton Box for $180,000 for federal advocacy service and approving and authorizing mayor to execute a contract with Van Scoyoc Associates for $15,000 per month for 12 months.
All right. Anyone have any questions on item 15?
Is it the flop?
Items
It's 15. 15. Okay.
Flop
Sorry,
is
I
16.
said 15. Okay, thank you.
16 is flock. 16, resolution authorizing mayor to negotiate and execute an agreement with Flock Safety for up to $150,000 to purchase software, cameras, and professional services for MPD.
Hey, Chief. Hey, let's talk about item number 16. And I think the council has been having conversation about is the a license plate readers, is that the way of the future? Is that the best use of the dollars when we talk about flock LPRs, or there's cameras where we can actually get or detection of movement?
Yes, sir. The LPRs are a great tool for us because you also interlock them with the actual cameras that are out there. So the LPRs, when they are actually connecting, they're actually connecting with databases beyond the MPD's database, which means that if we have something, if we hit something, it might be reported stolen in a whole nother state. Just like if something hits in another state, they might report it to us. So having LPRs is an incredibly good tool for us.
Okay.
Mr.
Chief.
President,
Ms. Beard?
Chief, can you give us locations possibly where these are going? Because I know I'm in negotiations with Flock as well. I think some other councilmen may be as well. I already have them in my neighborhoods. I've talked to the police. Is it Davis I think I'm working with, or I can't think of his name right now.
Right. Well, Chief Hall, of course, keeps maps showing the locations where we have current cameras.
Yes, sir, but I
that
want to
we
know where,
utilize.
I want to see where those are, and I'd like to know where the new ones, because I'm going to do an abundance of them, and we're being asked to route them through our homeowners associations.
Well, we'll work with you to help you place them. That way they could work best in conjunction with the cameras that we're going to place. Because what we're trying to build is a network that's covering the whole city.
Yes,
We
sir.
want the whole city covered, so that way we have a seamless information stream that literally means if a car's entering, let's say, the eastern half of the city, we could follow that car all the way to the, let's say, western half.
Okay, so you're signing all the contracts, and you'll do all the payment, and Ms. Beeble, you're going to probably scream when I say this, but, we're going to have a pretty good bit with our homeowners associations. I just would love to see if we could connect I don't know if that's.
Well, we can connect, I mean, I can't
No, but-
account for your homeowners association and what y'all will sign with Flock, but what I can account for is that if we draw y'all into the network, which it'll be compatible, so we
Correct.
can,
I know that.
then we'll be able to monitor it.
I guess what I'm saying is, I wish we could all be under one umbrella.
You would be, because the thing about it is that our Star Center, it actually encompasses a whole bunch of cameras and camera systems from different neighborhoods. So you would be under one umbrella for monitoring and for
I'm talking
criminal
about one
justice
umbrella
use.
for payment.
Yeah,
is
she's
what I
talking
would
about
like to
payment,
do.
Chief.
I would love to be under one umbrella for payment and
So-
signage.
Mr.
The
Chief.
money.
Yeah, so,
That was gonna be my
Mr.
question.
President, the idea was for, from my understanding, that when we did the pass-off, it was to take the responsibility off the council and the neighborhood and make this a citywide system. And that way, because it's monitored by MPD already, and this partnership, it was supposed to make more sense with it going through MPD and not through the council anymore. That was the idea.
However, the council and other neighborhood associations continue to enter into additional contracts.
Well, we
Therefore,
were supposed to pause that.
right, but
Okay.
we haven't paused it. So that's the issue, is we haven't paused it, and so we're just trying to get at least a system in which we can link into the network, and what PD will do. The contract that we're looking at here will synergize all the flock cameras that are in the system, even outside of the county and other parts of the state. The issue is when you enter into those agreements with Flock, that agreement was with Flock. The city can't come in and make them break that agreement. Therefore, that agreement with that neighborhood association is an agreement between that neighborhood association and Flock. So there's going to take some litigation possibly to break those contracts to then have the city take over. The other piece of it is as we're talking about the budget, this is, when you start talking about doing a citywide Flock camera system, it goes up very fast to in the millions, not just the hundreds of thousands from what I understand.
That is correct. So this was presented last year. This conversation started last year. Each council member's contract with Flock was for 2 years. And all the council members, we had the meeting here in City Hall, all of that was done. Now, I can't account for everyone, but I know for majority of the council members, and they're looking now and saying, no, the contracts are up, and no one has paid because we were waiting for this process to go through.
So if the contracts are up, that's one thing, but if there's an existing contract, we would have to work through that. But the
Well,
other
they'll
part,
just let it expire.
Chief, I've got a question. Chief, how many cameras for 150,000 are we getting?
Well, the initial ask is going to be covering, of course, we start off with 17, but then we start building out on the system till we utilize, you could say, the whole of the funding. So it's going to actually expand.
Okay, so 150 is just the first step.
Yeah, well, this is we can utilize it as we go forward. And of course, if we can ask for more at some point, we would, but this is going to be something that will actually be usable now that we can continue using going into the future.
What kind of rent are we going to get on annual rent on these things?
Sir?
What's the annual rent?
The annual rent on the last thing we looked at was about approximately $65,000 a year.
For 17 cameras?
It was for the 17, but it was also for the additional services that are related to it. This is an expandable and a breathing system.
Right.
I have a question, Mr. President.
Ms. Riley?
Chief Hall, it's for Chief Hall. Chief, I want to know, will we get some of these new camera systems will cover District 4, the west area? Do you know?
Yeah, some of them are over there. The ones we're currently looking at for the 17 expansion are specific to the west and south side because we don't currently have the network to cover those. So that's what those first ones are looking for, and I know exactly what they are. And then when I met with you that day, we were specifically working around those cameras coming in to make sure that we didn't double up at any location.
Right.
And that's what I recommend is everyone meet with us if you're putting stuff in so that we can pull up what we have through the Flock system and through other systems to make sure we're not doubling up on anything at any location, which is what we did that day. We spent about an hour and a half going through each of those locations. We're happy to do that with anybody.
Thank you.
Mr. Pruitt.
Thank you, you
Yeah,
come?
I'm sorry,
Ms.
Mr.
Beard?
President, I answered. Mr. Pruitt, can we meet in a public safety meeting to kind of go over this and can get a little bit of clearer understanding or where we're involved here?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll set that up for you.
Okay, I've got my whole flock camera thing here.
All right, thank you, Chief, thank you, you wanted to go to the down.
Item 17, application for restaurant retail liquor license, doing business as Rock and Roll Sushi, 1470 Taylor Road.
Mr. Charlie.
Mr. Jinright? We have a public hearing on this. You got any issues?
No.
All right.
18, application for restaurant retail liquor license, doing business as Japanese Restaurant, 8860 Minnie Brown Road.
Mr. Jinright?
Good.
19, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license, doing business as Ricky's, 107 South Court Street.
All right, Marcia.
Oh, I'm fine with it. We'll have an abstention.
We're gonna carry that over for 2 weeks.
You need to tell them that you're going to recuse yourself.
Oh, I'm saying out loud. Mr. President, I intend to recuse myself for that item.
Okay,
Item
that?
thank you, sir.
Item 20, application for a towing company, doing business as Black Diamond Emergency Roadside and Recovery.
Mr. Mitchell?
Mr. President, we'll carry that over for 2 weeks.
All right.
Item 21, resolution appointing Cortez Dick Harris to the Water and Sewer Board.
All right, Ms.
I'm good.
Riley?
I'm good, Mr.
22, resolution appointing Gavosky Boyd to the Industrial Development Board.
Ms. Mitchell, we good, all appointments? Yeah.
23, resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
All right, council. Any members of council before, Ms. Beeville? I thought I saw one.
She was right there.
Ms. Johnson, I remind you, we have that gentleman on hold that you wanted to speak in work session.
Mr. President, on the, while we're waiting on Ms. Beville, yesterday when we had which I'll report out, with the special committee reports, but we had, a conversation, and the ordinance came up, that we did for pad splitting. Pad splitting is actually a brand, and I would like to, we're gonna have him present what pad splitting is to the city, just for explanation. He's on Zoom, but we're gonna rename that ordinance, Stacy. I would like to rename that ordinance because I don't want to have an ordinance named after a brand rather than what it actually is. I looked up what we could name it or add it to the STR ordinance, but I would like to change that name of that ordinance to, as he presents, I'll come back to it because I need to pull it up.
Okay, it's still in committee, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it would have to be voted on in committee for a name change.
Okay.
All right.
So he's on to speak with us?
Yes.
Y'all can bring him on.
His name is Atticus LeBlanc.
Who?
Atticus LeBlanc.
Mr. LeBlanc?
I'm here.
All right. Go ahead with your presentation, sir.
Can you all see me, or are you able to?
We can hear you.
All right. I'm sharing a screen right now. I'm not sure if you can see it.
We can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you again for the opportunity. It was great to see some of you all yesterday. As mentioned, my name is Atticus LeBlanc. I am the founder and CEO of PadSplit. I've been in affordable housing now for 20 years, most of my career, and actually got my start when I first moved to Atlanta 23 years ago by renting a room in a home, which ultimately empowered me to own my own home and start my own business, start my own family, etc. So this is something that I'm deeply passionate about as well. And the foundation of the company really comes down to a simple question, as I alluded to yesterday, which is, do the people who serve our communities, in this case Montgomery, deserve at least an opportunity to live in them? This is Kiosha. She was one of our members who is representative of the population that we serve. She worked as an in-home health aide, serving sick and elderly individuals, but couldn't afford and qualify for an apartment in Atlanta for herself and her daughters aged 11 and 2. So she unfortunately had to send them to live with her mother in Valdosta, Georgia, 3.5 hours away, and would commute on the weekends just to be able to see them. The situation that we find for Keosha is something that faces a lot of people across the United States, and that there's insufficient supply of housing, where there is a shortage for low-income workers of 7.3 million units nationally. And then the second question, which few people talk about, is the access question. And what that means is that because most property managers require a certain income-to-rent ratio, and then on top of that will require, in some cases, a minimum credit score, and in almost every case, an upfront deposit, most of those individuals who are working full-time don't qualify for those units. And this was the case for Keosha, and I actually polled yesterday while I was in the meeting what the supply of units are for in-home health aides, as an example, in Montgomery. So I found a listing on Indeed that paid $24,000 a year, meaning that person would qualify, assuming they got the job in Montgomery, Alabama, for $667 a month. And I pulled then on apartments.com how many apartments are currently available for $667 or less, and there were only 8 total units. One of them was actually just an individual bed in a senior facility in the city as well. I don't know the workforce population particularly well in Montgomery, but I would venture a guess that you have far more than 8 individuals who are currently seeking housing in those income ranges, particularly given the number of people that we're talking about and the profile of those different occupations. Fortunately, in Keosha's case, she found Pad Split, where she was able to qualify within minutes for a fully furnished room in a shared home with all utilities, Wi-Fi, laundry included. We even provide access to telemedicine for anyone who needs it out of our cost, and we report on-time payments to credit bureaus. As a result, she was able to build up enough savings and improve her credit to the point where 10 months later, she was able to buy a home just east of Atlanta in DeKalb County, which is where I live, and move in her whole family, including her mother, under one roof and start building generational wealth for her family. The problem that we see is entirely solvable, meaning the overall housing supply, which is the problem that most people focus on, actually already exists. And the reason why is because homes have been increasing in size since 1950 onward, whereas family and household sizes have been in decline, largely because of just an aging population or smaller and smaller families, or people waiting longer to have children. And that's been in decline since the first census ever in 1790. And so what you find is you actually have more space, residential space, on a per-person basis today than you've had at any point in United States history. And you could actually create that 7.3 million home shortage out of less than 1% of existing current housing. And so it's not this kind of boogeyman that's going to take over neighborhoods. You literally have solved the entire need with less than 1% of existing housing stock in the United States. And so again, the problem back to the access question is that they can't access the existing already limited housing supply. Because someone's making $24,000 a year, they don't have the ability to come up with a deposit for $700, much less $1,200, which is around the median rent that you're looking at a one-bedroom apartment in Montgomery today. And then on top of that, the property managers will typically require, as I mentioned, the 3 times monthly rent. So even somebody who's earning a decent wage at quote-unquote at $15 an hour only makes $31,000 a year. And $870 is the max that they're going to qualify for. And those units just don't exist in any sort of scale, and you can't build the units which will have low enough construction costs to be able to market at those rents as well. So this is ultimately how we address this problem with the existing supply, and it's by aligning incentives, both with investors, but also owner-occupants in existing markets. And what we do is by dividing the cost of that rental into individual bedrooms, we're more aligned with the population that actually needs those types of spaces. And the workers that are in your community, that are already serving your community today, that need access to individual rentals. And we absolutely do that by just showing the bottom line to would-be housing providers how instead of offering a vacation rental, for instance, or a short-term rental, they can actually create affordable housing in their communities and solve an important need while also making money. And as a result, we've grown to over 25,000 units without using any taxpayer dollars. It's better for members because there's very little in the way of upfront costs. We run full background checks on all of our members. We verify their identity using a biometric scanning system where they hold a picture of their ID next to their face, and we're tied into their bank accounts and we're verifying income for every single individual. But because of our unique payment structure and underwriting system, we don't require those high upfront deposits that would normally be required by a traditional property manager. The cost of an application, which we can process within just a couple of minutes, is $19. And then in lieu of a deposit, there's only one, what we call a move-in fee, which covers the cost of cleaning an individual room. And that averages $81 across the platform. In some cases, it's down to $0. So if you look at that average one-bedroom apartment comparison on your left at the top versus the pad split cost in the green, that's before you ever move in. You're talking about north of $3,000 to move into a standard apartment. In Montgomery, even with an average rent of $1,250, you would still be almost at $3,000 when you add up all of these costs compared to $100 with pad split. And then we bill on a weekly or per payday basis because it's very easy to remember, it's very easy to budget around. So even though our residents are committing to 12 weeks on the platform up front, they're still only required to pay for the first week and this move-in charge, which means that for the 40% of Americans who don't have $300 to spend on an emergency expense, they can still move into a new place within 48 hours for less than $300 on average for all 25,000 pad split units across the country. Why is it better for members? Because they have the ability to transfer. So a lot of people ask, well, what happens if you have a bad property owner, or if you have a bad roommate, or if you just get a new job across town or across the country? Our pad split members, their first transfer is always free. So they have the ability to transfer across the network of options as needed based on the requirements of their job, or if they're just unsatisfied with the place that they move into. We can underwrite individuals below $15,000 a year. So if you think about seniors on fixed income, particularly those who are on Social Security income, earning as little as $12,000 a year, we can still underwrite those people to put them into a traditional housing option without public subsidy, whereas otherwise it would be impossible. And like I say, on average, we see a 48-point increase in credit scores because of on-time credit reporting. More than 89% of our residents report savings, and it's a significant amount, about $366 a month. And then for our hosts on our platform, we're moving people into those rooms very, very quickly. On average, across every market, it's less than 7 days. We have 24/7 on-call customer service that can support any sort of inquiries from Johnny stole my peanut butter, to the water doesn't work, to the power's out, to, oh my gosh, this house is flooding and I need to move right away. And we've had situations where our customer service teams had to help people find new housing even in the middle of the night. Every room on the platform has to meet federal HUD standards. And I think that's really pretty important. Fire safety is also very important to us. Host ratings are now exposed on the platform, so before any resident books, they can see what the move-in rating and the overall room rating is for that unit. And why is it better for communities? Because for one thing, it's tax-free. It doesn't require any cost on behalf of the communities that we're in. You have environmental benefits because you don't have expensive new construction that also requires significantly more traffic. For neighbor engagement, I mentioned this yesterday in my presentation, but we have a portal on our site where any neighbor with any issue can report any concern to us at any time. And I happen to see those personally along with our legal team. And the economic impact is also pretty profound. For people earning a median income of $27,000 a year, we're saving them on average $366 a month, and that money gets put back into the local community. The alignment of incentives with residents, hosts, and cities has certainly fueled our growth. We're at nearly 25,000 units across 26 states, and we continue to grow more and more. We've added the equivalent of 6 apartment complexes just last month, and 2 just in the last week. Who we serve, again, $27,000 median income. 15.5% of folks are on disability, 8% are moving directly from unsheltered homelessness. In spite of having full-time employment, I want to emphasize that there's an invisible population of people that we all interact with every single day who you would have no idea that are homeless. They're serving your sandwiches, they're the cashiers at the grocery store, they're your in-home health aides, and they're absolutely living out of their cars more often than you would ever expect. 81% of our folks are employed full-time, and 47% rent a car. I think that's another misconception, is you assume if there are 6 rooms in a home, that you're going to have 6 cars outside, and that is rarely the case. Just because if you're only earning $24,000 to $31,000 a year, it's an unnecessary expense, and in some cases, you're just not capable of affording that car. Since 2018, without any public subsidy, this is what we've been able to do, creating $198 million in savings for our residents. And if you compare what it costs to build for a traditional subsidized apartment through the Loans and Housing Tax Credit Program, we've saved taxpayers almost $7 billion, in spite of the fact that we're still a relatively small company. We've seen over 50 members buy homes, and 90% of our residents would refer us to a friend. And so I will pause there. We certainly hope that you'll agree with us that the workers who serve our communities deserve an opportunity to live there, and that is inclusive of the city of Montgomery.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Miss, you good? All right, thank you, sir, for your presentation.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, any other council have anything? All right, meeting adjourned.